just wanted to make another video. What I want to talk about today is using calorie tracking as part of my tools to get healthier. I have to say I've had some resistance to this. I'm working through something, and I'm hoping that maybe this could be helpful to other people that are watching this. Well, I came out of being bulimic when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I probably stopped being bulimic by the time before I was 20. But I had an eating disorder, and so by the time I used to count calories, I used to purge, I used to exercise excessively, anything, because I felt so worthless if I wasn't slim, and I'm not naked. And so and then I went to an eating disorder therapist, and she, kind of guided me to not weigh myself, guided me to not calorie count, to do more of a style of intuitive eating. Eat when I'm hungry, stop when I'm full, which is great. I lost weight like that, and I felt stable with my body in my 20s when I was seeing the therapist. But fast forward, and as an adult who has gone up and down the scale somewhat, I always resisted calorie counting, weighing myself, and the weight has crept on over time. And honestly, I have no good reference point for calorie counting. Like I resist it, I don't do it. So I really have had kind of no idea how many calories I was consuming. And so I recently watched some video about, I think it's how to lose weight without losing your mind. I'll try to put a link below for that video. Now, this is all in alignment with the starch solution people who are doing high carb, low fat, and they talk about calorie density. And so calorie density is basically fat is really dense with calories, so just a little bit has very high calories, but you won't feel full from eating it. And then it goes up the scale, so then eating I don't know if it's proteins and meats and stuff, you might get more bulk than just pure fat, but you won't feel full. You'll need more to feel full. And then when you eat vegetables, I think it's 100 calories per pound of vegetables, and so you can eat a lot more and get a very full feeling, and possibly more satisfaction that way. And so you know what, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm gonna go with right now. And I've definitely been feeling more full and satisfied because I'm eating more bulk as far as more non-starchy vegetables. But I do eat rice, and I eat rice and potatoes usually as my starch, rice or potatoes. And I'm just also curious about how many calories throughout the day am I actually eating and consuming, because now I'm starting to weigh myself every day, and it's a whole new thing for me. But if I'm just gonna kind of stick with calories in and calories burned and all that stuff, I'm gonna see if that's what applies to me, because I do sound questionable because I have learned so many other things over the years, and I don't know it's true. But I'm gonna try this. So the scale is creeping down a little bit. And when you weigh yourself every day, I'm sure that's how it's gonna seem, but that's what I'm gonna do right now. And I'm using the chronometer to track my calories, and also the macronutrients, micronutrients. They kind of make sure you're getting everything you need. I'm low in fat, that's the biggest thing. And mostly eating starch and vegetables. So I'm feeling pretty satisfied. I'm not doing no sugar. I mean, eating fruit, and I've had some sugar. Like I've had jelly on my toast that had like sugar in it. I am also diabetic. I'm metformin right now. I'm just figuring out as I go, and I'm gonna just track my progress and see what works and see what doesn't work. I'm definitely not eating a lot of sugar, but there is just some refined sugar, like in the jelly, for example, that I've had on my Ezekiel bread toast. So I'm okay with that for the moment. My blood sugars have been registering as much lower than they had been, and that's what I'm going with right now. So yeah, the Cronometer, the Cronometer is what I'm using. It's an app on the phone. I can also access it on my laptop, and it's pretty intuitive for me. It also tracks if I do exercise, how many calories I used up. If I exercise, which I'm doing pretty much every day, 30 minutes of usually walking, but I also do dance at my home. I have some mixes that I might play and just move my body indoors. Like today it's kind of raining, so I might end up doing that indoors this morning. I'm gonna see what happens with the weather. And yeah, so I'm definitely making progress, and what I notice is the mindset is really important for me, and I think that'll probably be something I talk about regularly, because that's my biggest problem, is when I don't see enough results, then I say, you know, F it. And that's my biggest enemy right now, is to not feel like it's enough progress, and then my mind gets totally defeated, and then I don't bother, and I sabotage everything. So if I could do one thing, it's just to keep going. And that's kind of what I kind of know it in my mind, because I had the incidents in the emergency room. It was a month ago yesterday, a month ago. If I had not had that experience, I probably wouldn't have as much fortitude as I have right now. But that was a very eye-opening experience that is really giving me an anchor to push myself forward, because I don't know, my mind plays tricks on me, guys. I don't know if there's anyone else out there like me, but my mind plays tricks on me when I start to make a little progress, and I feel like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm good, and then I cheat, and then I eat a little of this, a little of that, and next thing you know, I think I'm fine. And yeah, it's been a habit for me. So because I was in the emergency room, and I saw what I weighed after not knowing what I weigh, saw how bad my blood sugar had gotten and how bad my blood pressure was. I was totally clueless about all of that. And I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person, and I think that's part of the problem. I never thought it was a problem. It's a good thing. But I think my happy-go-lucky nature makes me, not take serious some things that need my attention. And that's the way it is. I mean, it got my attention, and I'm here, and I'm still alive, and, things aren't really that bad. So I think it's all good in the big picture. But there's something that needs my attention. And, having had a dramatic experience, like going to the emergency room, is really helping me to take myself more seriously. And what I'm seeing, because I kind of have like now a little vision boarding thing I'm doing, I'm picturing myself at the weight of 175. And I'm starting to just like put energy into being that weight and how it would feel to be that weight, and like seeing that number on the scale. And it feels like I start to get a really nice feeling when I picture that. And I feel it. I start to feel a feeling. And it feels really good. And it feels really stable. And it feels like I have self-esteem being that way, meaning like I like my body. I like putting clothes on that body. I like being out in public in that body. I like moving around in that body. And so when I start to kind of feel those feelings, I realize the self-esteem that comes with that I have not had, because I spend a lot of time in shame and not liking myself and not liking how I look and not liking shopping for clothing and kind of hiding my body with my clothing. And as I start to feel a pride imagining myself at that weight, I start to feel like, oh, wouldn't that feel so good? Wouldn't that feel so free? The more I do that, then I realize that, oh, I deserve to feel that way in this body. And that's a really beautiful thing. I deserve to feel good in this body. And my work is to really build momentum in that feeling. Feeling good in my body, liking the way I look, liking dressing my body, liking going out in public in my body, liking wearing beautiful clothing and feeling free and feeling flexible and enjoying the breath coming in and out and just feeling really good about my appearance. It's not a super spiritual thing, and I regard myself as a spiritual person, and I've not had it as a priority. However, when I start to imagine feeling that way, it feels so divine and so precious to imagine feeling that good about myself. And I start to realize, you know what, this is a spiritual thing. This is me feeling alive and feeling and just feeling good to be alive and enjoying the body that God gave me. And that's a very beautiful thing. And I deserve to feel that way, and you deserve to feel that way. So if you're also struggling with something similar, join the club with me on this journey of being a spiritual person who wants to be in a body that's healthy and that feels good and that feels free and that feels vital and grounded and on this earth. And we all deserve to feel that way, and not to have to hide our bodies, and not to have to feel any shame about our bodies. And yes, to not feel shame in a big body is also a wonderful thing, of course. I don't even want to get into anything political about this. That's also a true thing that I've been working on a long time, actually. But there's something else here that I'm speaking to, which is a feeling that I realize I don't have, which is a self-esteem and that I deserve to be in a body that I really love and that feels good and it is healthy. So, there. Okay, guys, that's me for today. Thank you for watching.